Hello, my name is Laura Richter, and I'm one of the pastors here at Grace Avenue. Thanks for joining me for the noon devotional today. Today, the day after the election. And I need to be honest with you and transparent that I'm actually filming this before that Wednesday. I'm filming it before because I know that no matter what happens the day after the election, that we still need to be focused together as people of faith. I'm mindful that it feels like that we have been walking in darkness for a long time. In fact, I sort of lean into Isaiah 9, which says, the people walking in darkness, they've seen a great light. On those living in a pitch dark land, light has dawned. What I need to tell you is I know that today we may still feel like that we're in the darkness. But we're reminded in Matthew's Gospel from the Sermon on the Mount that we are also called, chapter 5, verse 14, to be the light of the world. A city on top of a hill can't be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on top of a lampstand, and it shines on all who are in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before people so that they can see the good things you do and praise your Father who is in heaven. No matter what the news says today, it may feel like that we're still in darkness. No matter what the news says today, we are still called to be people shining God's light. And so as I sit here beside a light, I am mindful that there are lots of ways that we can move forward. But the most important way that we can move forward is maybe in the ways that we live with acts of kindness, letting God's light shine through us. Tyra Damm is a member of our church, and she went through a time of darkness upon the death of her husband. And yet she continues now, every November the 4th, to invite others to let their light shine. Today, I wanted Tyra to tell you a little bit about how she continues to invite others to share in acts of kindness, which is what I think all of us need to be about, regardless of election results, and regardless of where we stand. May we be people who walk as children of the light. Amen.
So my husband Steve passed away in September 2009. He had lived with brain cancer for 18 months. And that year, when he would have turned 41, his birthday was November 4th, and our minister at the time and our hospice agency put together a way for us to celebrate his birthday. So we went to the neighborhood park. There were about 100 people, all the kids who had grown up knowing Steve and friends, and we said prayers and released balloons. So it was this great day. And then the following year, when he would have been 42, we didn't have anything planned. And I baked a chocolate cake, which was Steve's favorite. And then Cooper and Katie, who at the time were 5 and 9, and I sat and ate a chocolate cake as we cried because we didn't have anything really planned. And so I felt pretty bad about it as a mom that I hadn't planned better, especially compared to the year before. So I decided then that we would think about something to do for when Steve would have turned 43. So 10 years ago, we decided to do 43 acts of kindness in his memory because Steve was known for being just really kind and compassionate, a little bit mischievous. So we tried to think of things that would be sort of playful that we could do, but it was also overwhelming to think of doing 43 things on our own. So I put it on Facebook and Twitter, and then all of a sudden we had more than 400 acts of kindness that year in Steve's memory. And it was not just in Frisco or in Texas, but it was all over the country and all over the world, in fact. So it grew. And so for the past 10 years, on November 4th, we celebrate Steve's memory and we promote acts of kindness. So this year is 52 acts of kindness. So Steve was born in 1968. He would have been 52. So we always now try to multiply by 10. So we're hoping for 520 acts of kindness on the 4th. A few people asked me in the summer if we were still planning to do this because of COVID, and it never occurred to me not to. And in fact, even before the political climate felt so heavy as the election was drawing closer, I felt like it was an even more important time for acts of kindness because there's so many people who are isolated. I feel like a lot of people lost that human connection. And so I knew we'd need to be more creative about the way some people do acts of kindness. You're not gonna be able to necessarily hug people or hand them a home-baked good. Maybe they wouldn't feel safe receiving it. But as we've seen with everything else, I think we can be creative. We've had to improvise a lot this year. And November 4th happens to fall the day after Election Day. And I, like so many people, have been concerned about the lack of civility and the lack of recognition that we are all one children of God and that we're all each other's neighbors. And so my hope is that we use Steve's birthday as a day to reach out to people regardless of how they voted, regardless of what their beliefs are the morning after the election, and share joy and love and kindness with others.